Good evening, class. I want to thank you so much today. Wherever we are, we thank God for the gift of life. Because in the infinity of life where we are, life is whole, life is complete, life is perfect. We can't complain because everything is working in divine order. Yes, everything is orchestrated by the divine orchestrator, God, who created the heavens and the earth. Our today's topic is called spiritual intelligence and healing. If you think good, it will be good. I like a statement by David Amelech, King David, that he said is in the Midrash. David was saying to God, keep me away from an evil associate, from a person who has lost his Telem Elohim. Keep me away from a person who has a negative mental attitude. And I pray that circumstances of my life does not bring me closer to such a person. Because when a person is negative, the whole environment is negative. Such people negate their environment and they also negate our own environment. So David was saying, please, God, help us. Help me to live with kavod, habrios in Hebrew, respect for human nature. So that's the statement that I like from David. I thought I should just tell you that statement before we start. So our topic, like I've alluded to, is on spiritual intelligence. What is spiritual intelligence? Think good, for it shall be good. So spiritual intelligence is our capacity for developing spiritual meaning, our capacity to interpret our environment, our capacity to have a vision, our capacity to have a value in the society in which we live, or in different societies. So being in a position to interpret your environment is very important. When people cannot interpret their immediate environment, they are confused. They don't know what's happening. They don't know that God's hand is doing all those things. They don't know that the primordial mind is orchestrating. The primordial mind is pushing things. The orchestrator. Because we are just part of the equation. So God is doing it. So if people cannot interpret whether illness, whether poverty, whether whatever situation they are or they find themselves in, it's God doing that. In Hebrew, they call Ein Od Milvado. There's nothing but God. There's nothing but God. Whatever God does for the best. So a story is told about Rebecca. He went to Abba, the son of Noah, for a prophetic advice. So this story is found on Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. If you read that verse. So she visited for a prophetic advice. Abba, the son of Noah, he was a prophet then. So the Lord said to Rebecca, you don't have a problem. So she had a problem because she was saying, I don't know what type of pains women feel when they're pregnant. I'm not sure. So she went to Abba for prophetic advice. Then because she could not interpret her environment, she thought she was bewitched. So when she could not interpret that environment, her thoughts said to herself, you are bewitched, you maybe. So that's why she went to Abba for the advice. And when she went there, the prophet of God, Abba, said to her through, the prophet was just acting as God's mouthpiece. And Abba said, no, you are not just sick. 2 nations are in your womb. And 2 peoples, the Bible, it doesn't say people like we used to do at school. 2 peoples from within you will be separated. One will be the stronger and the other one will be weaker, and the other one will save the other. So the prophet of God interpreted Rivka's environment. He didn't know. So that's spiritual intelligence. You are in a position to interpret what's happening to you in a positive perspective, in a positive light. You don't say, I'm bewitched. Yeah, there are spooks, spook. They are ghosts, in our language, You interpret it in a positive way, knowing that God is the divine orchestrator. Whatever happens in Odmivado, there's nothing but Hashem. And Hashem is everything. Whatever is happening is caused by God. So that belief system is very important. So this topic is a higher degree of abracadabra. I think you know it from our last our first lecture. Is a higher degree of abracadabra we create as we speak. And it underlies the things we believe in. Our belief system and values. Why? Because this topic is about the mind system. The mind system. And yet, because the mind is the commander-in-chief of all the defense forces. The commander-in-chief of the defense forces, be it. Hence is the commander-in-chief. So when the mind is captured by the Satan, or by the psychic dark world, everything is captured. So the mind is very important. That's what Jesus says in the Torah, in the Bible. A person must build his house on a rocky structure, on a hard surface. He was referring to the mind, the mental constitution, a stable mental constitution. So if you think good, it will be good. So a story is told about a rabbi, a junior rabbi, a Talmud Chacham, who went to the senior rabbi with his son. The son fell sick, so the junior rabbi took his son to the Rebbe, the Baal Shem Tov. And when the Baal Shem Tov, and said the Baal Shem Tov, the Rebbe, my son has been sick for almost a month now. So I don't know, I've come here for a bracha, for a blessing. Then the rabbi looked at him, at the junior rabbi, and said, no. Go and think good, for it shall be good. Go and bless your child, for it shall be good. When you think good, everything will be good. When you think negative, you create demons. When you start to speak Lashon Hara, derogatory language, you create demons. Those demons will devour, eat you first and your children. You've caused this child to feel to be sick because of the way you think. Go and think good. So when the rabbi left, when the junior Talmud Chacham, junior rabbi left the residency of the Rebbe, the child was healed. So it all boils down to here. If you have a weak mindset, then everything else is not you follow suit. So what is important is for us to have a stable mental constitution. God created the universe, and each and every creature in the universe has a divine duty, and there's no need for fighting. There's no need to blame anyone. No. They call it Ashigasha practice, divine providence. When we come from heaven, we had everything. We were given everything by God. So, but when we are here in this world, is the world of competition. We compete, like a story is told about a donkey who went to drink water from a river, from a brook. When he was at the river, about to drink water, he saw his shadow in the waters. His shadow in the waters. Not in the water, in the waters. And he was amazed. He was shocked. He said to himself, the donkey, why to the other donkey? Hey, Mr. Other donkey, what are you doing inside? This is my water, and you are already inside. How am I going to drink the water now? So he poured the water to make it dirty. He poured the water to make it dirty. And when the water was dirty, the donkey drank the water. Because in his mind, he thought maybe the donkey, the shadow in the water, wants to compete with me. So that's why the donkey to make that water dirty first, so it drank dirty water. The fear of competition. Are we competing? The resources are many. We have an endowment of resources. We don't need to fight. Why fight? Someone complains because I have a shop and someone has built his shop next to my shop, so you will take my clients. Whose clients? So when we live in harmony and balance with nature, when we are harmonious, we get things from God, because there's no need for people to fight, because the resources are in abundance. We will not finish the resources that we have given by God. And the problem we have is that we don't own anything in this world. No one owns anything in this world. Everything belongs to God. Everything belongs to God. The Bible says the world, the universe is mine. Everything this belongs to God, from silver to bronze to diamond to flora to fauna to aquatic life systems, all belongs to God. So there's no fight. Why fighting? Another story was told of two young boys who were fighting for a piece of land. They were saying, "This is my land," and the other was saying, "This is my land." So they were fighting for a piece of land. So they took it up for resolution with the rabbi. So they went to the rabbi to say, "Rabbi, can you solve this issue for us? We've been fighting for 6 months now. This guy is saying it's my piece of land. I'm saying it's my piece of land. So can you resolve it for us?" And the rabbi said, "Give me a moment." So the rabbi was given a moment. And he lowered his ear closer to the ground, as if he was listening to something. Then he listened. As he was listening, he stood up and said, "Young man, come back. Come closer to me." The rabbi said to the young man, "Did you tell me the truth to say both of you are fighting for this piece of land?" They said, "Yes, it's my piece of land." And the other said, "It's my piece of land." "It's your piece of land?" And the rabbi said, No, that's not what I heard. Then two young men said, "What did you hear, Rabbi?" Then the rabbi said, "When I put my ear closer to the ground, the piece of land told me to say, these young men don't own me, I own them. These young men don't own me. But these young men belong to me. I'm the Mother Earth. How can they own me yet I'm their mother? I'm the Mother Earth. Next week, these guys will come to me. We'll be buried here. So we don't own anything. Why fighting? We don't own anything. It belongs to God. And no, with fighting, comes issues like anger, issues like jealousy, issues like depression. All those comes as a package, because people have failed to understand and interpret their world. And there's a story that I got from my friend. My first time when I went to Ha-Rav, he said to me, "Some people have a poverty mentality." I said, "Why?" He said, "Even in the midst of abundance, they will find lack." Poverty mentality. Even in the midst of abundance, they will find lack. So we need to be harmonious with our souls. We need to be harmonious. We need to be in harmony and balance with our body. We need to be in harmony with our mental constitutions. The commander in chief is the mind. You know, every day, close to 60,000 thoughts cross our minds. 60,000 thoughts cross our mind. And we have a duty to govern. Gubinere in Greek, to govern. Close to 60,000 thoughts. Your duty is to fight to control. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. 30,000. Once one fails to control his or her thought, there's a problem. There's a problem. So the Spirit of God gives intelligence. The Spirit of God gives understanding. A story is told about Shlomo Amelech, King Solomon. King Solomon was married to the daughter of Pharaoh, Tatmusa. The daughter was called Tatmusa, who had a PhD in erotic arts. So the daughter of Pharaoh liked birds. Like birds so much. So the daughter of Pharaoh, one day when they were in the woods, Shlomo Melech, when they were in the woods, the daughter of Pharaoh saw a nestling. A nestling is a baby of a bird, a nestling. So she took it and encaged the bird in a cage, and caged it. And Tatmusa told the bird to sing. The bird could sing, show melodious songs to Tatmusa, the wife of Shlomo Melech. So, but the bird was not free. I'm talking about intelligence. The bird was not free. So one day the bird said to Solomon, Shlomo Melech, where are you going? Solomon was going out for a hunting spree. So the bird said to Solomon, Solomon, where are you going today? Solomon said, I'm going out hunting. So the bird said to Solomon, can I ask for a favor, a small favor? Solomon said, what favor do you want? He said, please, if you go there, when you took me from the woods that time, 2 years ago, I was just a nestling, I was young. And I want to go and see my parents. My father, my brothers, my siblings are all in the woods. I'm not enjoying anything here. Solomon said, what are you saying? You're not enjoying anything? I'm not enjoying anything, said the bird. I'm engaged here. Solomon said, but I give you food, you have everything. In the morning you get water, in the afternoon you get food. So why are you complaining? He said, I am complaining because I am operating not in my environment. This is your environment. I was created by God to fly. I can't be encaged. I need to fly. Why should I be here? I need to fly. Solomon said, but if you fly, there's a problem in flying. He said, what problem? There's no food. He said, no. I was created by God to fly and look for my own food, not your food. So Solomon said, yeah, that's okay. I'll go. As I go into the woods, that's fine. I'll ask if I come across your relatives, I'll talk to them. So Solomon went into the woods. So he had that word in mind to say he got from that small bed in the cage at the palace. So 5 miles away from home, he saw the same bed like that one in the cage. He said, yeah, bed, how are you, Solomon? The bird said, I'm okay, king. Why are you here? Why in the forest? Solomon said, I'm hunting, but I was given a message by maybe it's your daughter or your niece at home. She said she wanted a strategy to freedom. She said, if I see you here as I'm seeing you, I should ask you if there is a strategy that she can be freed from the cage, because I had engaged her, because I taught her to sing for my wife. Then the bird that Solomon was talking to flew closer to Solomon on a branch. So the bird was closer to Solomon. So Solomon looked at the bird and said, and repeated the question. Solomon said, I was sent by the other bird at home at my palace. She needs to escape, so she doesn't know how to, where are the ways to freedom. So the other bird, that small bird in the woods, was listening when Solomon was asking the question. So after she listened, the bird in the woods, after she listened, she fell down from the branch on the ground. Solomon was shocked. I'm talking to you and you fell on the ground? What are you trying to do? I'm asking. I didn't shoot you. I didn't throw a stone. But you've fallen on the ground. I was talking to you. What happened? Sure. Solomon took the bed into his hand and looked at the bed and said, what's the problem? So he blew some warm air. He thought maybe she felt cold. The bed pretended as if she was dead, the bed. And he threw it away about a stone's throw. The bed didn't do anything. So Solomon left the bed like that. He said, I don't know. So he went back home after hunting. Then the other bird at the palace in the cage. Said, Solomon, I gave you a word in the morning. Did you see my parents? Did you see my father? Solomon said, your father? Yeah, I met someone, and I tried to engage that person in a conversation to give me an idea how you could get freedom from here. Then the bird in the cage said, what did he tell you? What did he say? Solomon said, no, I just asked the question. And she fell from a branch, fell on the floor, on the ground. And I tried to take it and blow some warm air, some warm breath on it, and nothing happened. So I threw it away because I was angry. So I was talking to you, then you fell. And as this bird in the cage was listening to Solomon, she fell down on the ground, but in the cage, she fell down. And Solomon said, why have you fallen? You guys, I think you are playing tricks with me. What are you trying to achieve? The one that I saw in the woods, I was talking to her, she fell down. I came home to give you a feedback from the message, feedback from the woods, the message that I got from the woods. You also fell down. So Solomon took when she fell down in the cage, Solomon took it, blew some warm air, and said, maybe she's dead, and threw it away. And the bird said to Solomon, that's what I want. I'm free now. Thank you, Shlomo Melech. I'm free. When you know the truth, that truth will set you free. When you know the truth says Jesus of Nazareth. When you know the truth will set you free from the chains of engagement, from the chains of the body. So this teaching this ancient teaching is difficult to accept. It's very difficult to accept to a layman sometimes. So some scholars will say, let no one imagine therefore that this collection of lectures is for the purpose of liberating anyone from their bondage. No. After all, no one may remove these imaginary bonds from one person except them themselves or they themselves. So not even by writing a million books can change someone, no. Or by expounding words of wisdom from now till doomsday. No, those cannot change anyone unless you want change by yourself. So why speaking all this? It is simply the pleasure of expounding the truth. Just telling the truth. Do people believe in it? No one worries about that. As water exists, whether the horse drinks it or not, but it will remain water. It just exists. The tree does not bother about who eat the fruit, to just be the fruit. So, Jesus of Nazareth also, I've said it. You know the truth. When we attain knowledge, you know the truth and you shall. That truth will set you free. See? That's our topic today. Spiritual intelligence and healing. Think good. Wherever you are, it shall be good. Ward off all negativism. So, I don't know, I think people should do a research. So we need to understand healing from a spiritual intelligence perspective. I can give you another, I like stories. But this one is a research about the placebo effect in psychology. It's one of the common theories. The placebo effect is due to a person's faith and expectation. If a person has faith in a pill, in a tablet, to heal him or her, then it's possible that the body chemistry or the body's chemistry can cause the effect of similar medication, and that person can be healed. So a placebo is anything that seems to be a real medical treatment, but it isn't. It could be a pill, a shot, some type of fake treatment. What all placebos have in common is that they don't contain an active substance meant to affect health. So it's about faith. It's about spiritual intelligence. A story again, there are so many stories, but a story again is told about a man of Willowbreak, who had a hatchback, a deformed shape between the shoulders. I can say wumbu in short, I don't know, in our language. So this young man grew with a hatchback at the back, like some lump at the back. So he grew up like that. So he was a laughing jackass of the neighborhood. People laughed at him, when you're going to school with a lump at the back. Until one day he was a king, but he was very uncomfortable. Say, I'm a king, but I have a hunchback. So when he reached boyhood, he was uglier and more deformed than he had been before. So he never went outdoors, even when he was a king. So other students' cruel conduct made him too shy and unsociable, and avoided their company and tempers when he was inside the house. So one day he was walking on the road and he met a guy called Nevermind. The guy was called Nevermind. I'm talking about spiritual intelligence. When there's nothing here, there's nothing on the feet. The feet is instructed where to go by the commander-in-chief. Yeah. Whatever you are doing today, right now as you are speaking, it was because of the commander-in-chief. We were told so by the commander-in-chief. The mindset. If you we talked about abracadabra, because the mouth just pronounced what we had thought already. I'm poor. I'm living in abject poverty. I will remain poor for eternity. Never mentioning about wealth. So that's who we are and how we came to be what we are because of what we would have thought. Mental constitution. So the hunchback man met Nevermind. Nevermind said to him, I can heal you free of charge. Don't give money, I can just heal you. You can heal me? Yes, I can heal you free of charge. He was happy. And what did he do? He just drew a picture of a perfect man, put that picture on the wall, and said to the hunchback, every morning, wake up in the morning, pray. Say, God, I want to be like that man. Every day I want to be like that man. Every day I want to be like that man. Every day and I must be like that man. Every day I must be a billionaire. Because God who has made kerosene, the Akadosh Baruch who created kerosene, who made paraffin, who made diesel, who made petrol, who made gas, can be the same God who can convert water into gas. So God who made billionaires can make us a billionaire or billionaires. There's nothing impossible with God. It's only impossible in here. So a story is told again of a teacher, a late teacher with their students, the pupils. She said to them, go home. When you go home today, tomorrow bring papers written on each piece of paper, one statement that said, it can't. 32 students, 32 people. They wrote the message, it can't, on a white piece of paper. So they brought that paper to the lady teacher, who said, no, thank you for the papers. So each one of you must take a hoe, bazaar, hoe. So each one took a hoe. So they went to the garden. They dug a big hole. And then the lady teacher said to them, put every paper in this hole, the it can't paper. It can't paper, put it here. So all the papers were put there. And she buried. She said to them, bury the it can't mentality. Bury the it can't mentality. When you say it's impossible, you're killing yourself. You are not doing any favor. The conscious mind will send a message to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind will send a message to the superconscious mind, in this case to God. In the subconscious mind, in the superconscious mind, they are not logical. What you say is what will happen. Abracadabra. You create as you speak. What can we say? So the young man, the young king went on praying in the morning. I want to be like that man. Let me be like that man. Let me like. Up to 3 years down the line, he was healed. So it's up here. It's up here. So the doctor, where is this doctor? The doctor is in you. The doctor is in you. Hebrews 11 verse 1, our traditional verse. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. If you keep in mind an image and an imagination of you in perfect health, that's what will happen. If you keep in your mind a mindset of you living, swimming in abject poverty, you are attracting those things, they'll come. So, positive mental attitude. Faith is indeed like a grain of mustard seed by Yeshua, ben yourself, Jesus, who said, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed of which a man can sow. It is the smallest of the shrub. But when it grows, it will become the biggest of all the shrubs. And birds of air will come and make nests in its branches. That verse can also go either way, either to the negative or the positive. But it can grow for evil. If you think evil things, you are planting seeds of evil, and they will multiply. They will grow into a biggest shrub, and birds of evil will make nests in that branches or in those branches. So your fear of disease is a faith. That fear of a disease is a negative faith, and it must multiply. So we must realize that the next step is the mind is the city of all diseases. So we need to be very, very careful. So we need to resist in mind all negative things that bring us discomfiture, all negative things. Don't say in thought, it's too hot, it's too cold, I can't bear it. When you say that in thought, you surrender to the elements of negativity. You are ever building up a power to fight you. Resist the effect of negativism. Oppose them here, the mindset. Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. So the devil is whatever tries to master you. They say in English, if you don't plan your day, the day will plan for you. If you don't plan your life, other people will plan their life for you. They'll plan for you. Plan your life. Plan your life. Some people will plan for you. And when you plan, when they plan for you, it's a donkey and a rider relationship. Say dingomo. A donkey and a rider. A donkey doesn't do what he likes. So plan for your life. You have a positive mental attitude. So on healing, they have just picked some methods to keep our souls in harmony and fight sickness. The method that I thought would be the most important to harmonize our souls and our bodies is music or medicine from the Pythagorean theory. Pythagoras was a guy from Samos in Greece, 580 to 650 BCE. Was one of the greatest mathematicians and philosophers of all the time. Pythagoras' theory, and his Pythagoreans. Apart from his many contributions in the fields of mathematics, he was a highly unusual amongst the scholars and prophets of his time, of his day, because he was also an accomplished musician. He played the guitar. Guitar, we call it guitar now. Guitar, it was the guitar, K-I-T-H-A-R-A, guitar. He played the guitar, Pythagoras, an ancient form of a guitar, and often sang as he played the guitar. He is reputed to have been able to soothe animals. People could bring the animals, sick animals, and they could be soothed by the guitar of Pythagoras. So, recognizing the profound effect of music upon the senses and emotions, Pythagoras did not hesitate to influence the mind and the body, a term called what do they call it? Musical medicine. He further declared that the soul could be purified from its irrational influences by solemn and sacred songs sung to the accomplishment of the guitar. So that's what the soul could be purified from its irrational influences by the guitar, by the music. So to prove it, it is related that, while one day he was observing the stars in the woods, he had an encounter with a young man who was befuddled. The young man was angry, and the young man wanted to kill, to murder his wife. There was some other, what to call it, adulterous affair. So Pythagoras heard him, making a noise. I want to kill you, to his wife. So Pythagoras brought a guitar. And he played the guitar. And as he was playing the guitar, the intoxicated, highly spirited, negatively young man became composed. And he gathered his bundles of wood and went away peacefully. He did not murder the wife, he did not murder the woman, because of music, because of spiritual, because of sacred, because of solemn songs. So the harmonization that we need between the body and the soul, firstly, can be achieved by music. No ulterior, nothing from outside can make a person happy. We have people who want to be happy because someone started the happiness, or some people are manufacturers of laughter, but within themselves they don't have that drive, the internal locus of control. They don't have those things. So their happiness is driven from without. So that's why sometimes I like a thermometer. A thermometer regulates its own environment. A refrigerator is with a thermometer. It regulates its own temperatures. When temperature is high or low, the thermometer regulates its own temperature. But the thermometer, this is the thermostat. It regulates its own environment. But the thermometer is regulated. When you put the thermometer, take the thermometer, put it here, bring it out. It's regulated by the temperature of the body. Why are you regulated by someone? Why is your happiness? Yes, what is it to do with someone? Happiness. It must be within you. The Bible says, why is happiness has to do with someone bringing it to you? It must be inside. When it's not inside, when it's affected, like the thermometer, affected by the outside environment, there's no happiness, because those people can change it. So Pythagoras used that to heal, and he even killed demons. He cured demons by music, Pythagoras. So music is very important. Another remedy is the law of relativity. We don't live on bread or on meat alone. We live largely on new ideas, new ideas. We're talking about bread with new ideas. A condition, the law of relativity. Who do you relate with? Who do you spend most of the time with? Who is your friend? Immediately say, give me the average of your Musa or your Midot. The average of your intelligence is, if you take 4 people that you play with, that's the average of those people is you. So what is important here is to find people with positive mental attitude, people who love growth, people who are not gullible, not people who have just fundamental, people like growth. See, so a condition of a mind can be brought to you, resulting to you in good or ill, healthy or sickness, because of the people that you play with. Some people are negative, just negatively wired. So this is the secret of what in former times was called the spell. When through the actions of thought, a state of mind can be brought on a person. A state of mind can be brought on a person, which may then affect that person. A negative mind, a negative thought can be sent from a far-flung place to you, a negative thought, and you can capture it when you are low. So it's called a spell. When someone is talking negatively about you, you can sense it, you can feel it. People are talking negatively about you. So you need to pray to ward off their thoughts. So that's why in this presentation, I would like to emphasize and say a spell is a matter of everyday occurrences in the form of a thought. To remain for an hour in sight of grand scenery, or to remain for an hour in the graveyard, or at the graveyard. What are we doing? It's not pleasurable. 10 hours in the graveyard. To remain for an hour in that place, surrounded by coffins and skeletons. You are connecting yourself to serious negativity. To live for days and weeks in a family, all of whose members hate you or hated you. You live with 5 people who hate you. They are killing you. They will kill you straight away. So what do? God said to Noah, Noah, flee because of your life. Run away because of your life. They'll kill you either way. Now, if when sick, you're obliged to remain for days and possibly weeks in the same room. There's just same room you are sick. You remain in the same room, seeing the same place, the same bed, the same book, in the same room for weeks. What are you doing? So strange. So there's much closer connection, the law of relativity. There's much closer connection between things tangible and things of the eye, and things tangible, let me repeat, and things of the eye. What we see, we internalize. So that's our topic today. Yeah, we need to thank God. If you have questions, you can ask questions. But if someone is sick and has failed to apply all those remedies that I have prescribed, it's not from me, it's from books. Some people can consult the physician. So the physician is so many apparatus or paraphernalia that they use. The physician can use the eyes of a physician. The physician in this case can be a doctor, can be a church pastor or a priest. They can heal by just seeing you using their eyes. With their eyes already, they've been internalizing the word of God all the time. Internalizing readings, scriptural books, reading the Bible. So they're full of verses. So they are souls. When the soul of a tzaddik, righteous person, sees you, they can heal you. And at the same time, the physician's mouth. But the most important thing here is when you are healed, when you are being healed, when you visit, like Rivka, who visited Abba, when you visit a prophet, or a man of God, or a pastor for healing. Because what heals here is the spiritual energy in the soul, not in the body, in the soul. But when that person is a sinner, that person does not fear sin. The energy, the negative energy that is within the sinner, this sinner is transferable to you. That's why we these days we fail to heal people. Because I am a sinner, I'm an elder, but a sinner. And I want to heal people. So what do? I transfer my sins into them. Then they become sick. It's spiritual. So why consulting such a person? Why consult such a person? Because when the person is righteous, they can heal us. So if all the formulas cannot work, the methodology is one has to pray. One has to pray to God. The prayer of the sick person is very important. The sages say that a sick person's prayer for himself is more potent than of others who are helping him or helping him. The prayer of a sick person. You can also consult, you can also look for a bracha. Bracha is a blessing from a wise man. A wise man is a tzaddik, a righteous man. When that person is righteous, he can heal. So elsewhere the sages teaches that if there is a sick person in one's home, one would visit a wise man or a righteous man for the healing of that ailment. But he must make sure that that righteous man is righteous, is far away, free of sins. People are sinners. We are all sinners. But to ward off sins, we have to confess. But when it comes to healing, a person must be righteous. So that when you are consulted for a bracha, for a blessing, a person can heal. The last but not least is the thought. Thought of a tzaddik, thought of a righteous person. The Hasidim, led by the Baal Shem Tov, teaches that a tzaddik, a righteous person, a holy man, is opposed to any other people, any other sages. By the power of his thought alone, without necessarily expressing anything, the power of his thought alone, if he thinks about you, you can be healed. It's written in the Hasidim, the Sefer Hasidim. The Sefer Hasidim. It's written in the Sefer Hasidim, the book of the righteous. See? The book of the righteous. It's written. A person must be righteous. Because God said that. Confess your sins. Be righteous. Because I am righteous. Be holy. Because I am holy. Why? Because when you are holy, you are representing God on earth. You are God's Aga Khan on earth. You are representing God on earth. When someone is righteous, he's a healer. But people, we are not holy. Sometimes when people come to us for healing, we don't get it. We don't, ourselves are not healed, and we don't heal them. Because we are not connected to the divine spark of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This divine spark of God. Healing comes from above. But since, when we sin, we detach from God. When we detach from God, we are detached from the source of healing. So we don't heal anyone. That's why leaders have to be righteous, so that people can be healed. So that's it for today. Thank you for coming. If you have questions, you can send them for discussion. Thank you, class. May God bless us all. Okay. Amen, amen, and amen.